Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of dinners. This week I'm sharing some 5-ingredient meals with you. Less ingredients means less money at the store, and also they're very quick meals. So let's go ahead and get started and I'll show you what I made. First up, we're making these chicken taquitos. I'm going to start by preheating my oven to 350 degrees. In this glass dish, I have 2 chicken breasts, and I'm just going to put half of this Southwest ranch chicken seasoning on. I think this seasoning has a lot of flavor in it, which will help considering there is very few ingredients. I put this chicken in my oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until it temped at a safe temperature. And then I took 2 forks and shredded both of those chicken breasts up. Once both of those were shredded, I added the rest of that chicken taco seasoning in here. And I do want to mention that you can add more ingredients in this. I'm just trying to give you a basic, simple recipe. I would love to add some rotel in here. You guys know, if you watch my videos all the time, I add rotel to a lot of my taco type of dishes. I just think it helps extend the meat and we love it. Next, I'm just going to add in 1 cup of shredded mild cheddar cheese and just mix all that together really well. If your cheese melts a little, it's really not a big deal. Once all that's mixed together, I'm going to get my tortillas out. I'm using these lower carb tortillas. They are the snack size, but you can use corn tortillas or other types of flour tortillas that are small. It is totally up to you. I'm just going to take a little bit of our mix and add it into each of the tortillas and then roll them up really tight and set them aside for right now. I am cooking these in my air fryer today, but you can cook these in oil on your stove or even in the oven if you want to. The times may vary obviously with different methods, but today I'm using my air fryer. I feel like a lot of people don't love their air fryers as much as they used to, but I still use this thing all the time. But anyways, in my air fryer, I'm just going to spray a little olive oil on those, and I just cooked those on 375 for about 5 to 7 minutes. My first batch took a little longer because the air fryer was heating up, but the second batch cooked a little bit faster. And I'm just dipping these in this Ricos nacho cheese sauce. You could use any type of dips that you want to. Any types of fillings, make these your own. The cheese inside of these really helps make them not feel dry, and also if you have something to dip them in, that's also a plus. Next up, we're making these easy 3-ingredient pork chops, which are now one of my new favorite recipes. I'm just preheating my oven to 400 degrees. In this little bowl, I am adding 1 cup of brown sugar packed, as well as 1 Italian dressing seasoning mix packet. And that is all you need for this, besides the pork chops, obviously. I am using 4 thick, boneless pork chops. This is enough mix here where you could do more than 4, but this is all I had in the freezer, so I went ahead and just used the 4. I could have cut down on it a little bit, but it was totally fine. I packed it on there, and these came out so yummy. Basically what I'm doing is just dipping my pork chops in the brown sugar and Italian seasoning mix, coating them as well as I can. Once you get those coated, just take the leftover mix of brown sugar and the Italian dressing mix and cover those pork chops. Once I got those all in the pan covered very well, I cooked those for about 20 minutes, and here they are coming out of the oven. And yes, that sugar is going to melt and it is going to harden on your pan. You could line your pan if you want to, spray it down with some nonstick spray. I just soaked mine and it came off really easily. I just ate this with some cauliflower, and I was actually dipping the cauliflower in the sauce because that sauce is so good. And I know it's mostly brown sugar, but adding it with the Italian seasoning mix, it was wonderful. Now we're making this chicken and stuffing bake, and I'm preheating my oven to 375 degrees. In my bowl, I'm adding 1 box of chicken stuffing mix with 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I'm just going to mix that together and then set that aside. In my 9x13 dish, I sprayed it with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm going to lay down my 2 chicken breasts. I did cut both of these chicken breasts in half into smaller, thinner pieces. I did not add my salt and pepper into the 5 ingredients just because salt and pepper is so basic, and I feel like most people probably have salt and pepper. But I did take that salt and pepper and just season my chicken lightly. Next, I'm adding 1 can of Italian green beans right over top of my chicken. You could use regular green beans if you like. And next, I'm going to take my stuffing mixture and I'm just going to spread that out over top of my chicken and green beans. I just covered this with foil and this went in my oven for about 35 to 40 minutes or until your chicken reaches a safe temperature. I did move the stuffing out of the way and tempt my chicken just to be sure. It was plenty of time for me. I was right at 165, and now I'm adding on about a cup to a cup and a half of shredded mild cheddar cheese over the top. And I just stuck this back in the oven for 2 to 3 minutes until my cheese had melted. This is such a quick dinner to throw together. It does not take long at all to get in the oven, and that stuffing provides lots of flavor for this meal, so it's definitely not lacking in flavor. This will be a really great, easy Sunday dinner to throw together for the family. This meal is for all of you meatless people out there, so I call this pink sauce. It's basically just marinara and Alfredo mixed together, but we love it. I'm starting off by boiling some water, and I'm cooking about 5 ounces of pasta. I didn't cook that much pasta because it was just going to be me this night, but if you were cooking this for your family, you would just cook a whole box and then add both of the sauces. Once my pasta was done, I went ahead and just added in enough sauce for me. Like I said, I added a little bit of the Alfredo and then a little bit of the marinara. I'm just mixing that together, and then I did taste it to see if it was how I wanted it to be since I wasn't adding both whole jars in like I normally do, and I ended up adding just a little bit extra Alfredo. I also just served this with some of these New York breadsticks. These are my favorite breadsticks. And then here was my finished bowl. I added a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top with some parsley to garnish, and then this was my meal. This pasta is really good with chicken or beef or even ground turkey if you wanted to add meat to it to make it a little more filling. That wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this and maybe gave you some ideas for some simple meals that are still really filling and really tasty for your family.